QB1 coming out of spring? We don't know, but we will hear, courtesy of Gordy from Locked On SEC, from Luke Altmeier on this special interview edition of, I guess, current players. We'll have to figure out what to name it in a little bit, but anyway, here it is.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome to this special interview edition of the Locked On SEC, Locked On Ole Miss podcast from Locked On SEC is where the interview is coming from. But if you haven't followed Gordy and Locked On SEC, I encourage everybody to do that. He puts out tremendous content for the conference as a whole and does a good job just covering the totality of everything. You got the local guys like me and others that are all up in this, but he does a fantastic job, so give him a subscribe. Real quick, before we get started, I do want to tell you about BetOnline.net. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all of your betting needs and sports information. Find all the latest developments, league reviews, and news, including Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports teams, all your favorite sports events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. Also, today's episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. With the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it is now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you'll need. Why often endure pointless and seemingly intimidating questioning? Is your Odyssey an LX or an EX? And wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer using only the brand their warehouse happens to carry. You have computers at home and in your pocket with access to rockauto.com. So this is what you need to know, really. You can save time and a ton of money when using Rock Auto. They're a family business that's been serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Rock Auto prices are reliably low for every customer. Go explore their easy-to-use website today and find the solution to your auto parts needs. So go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car and truck. Write Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. And also, I want to thank everybody for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast their first listen every day. We're free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So do us a favor, give us a subscription on the YouTube channel. Also, hit the bell for notifications for new videos that go up, which is happening quite frequently. And, of course, upvote the video itself. It would help us out. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Luke Altmeier was at the Manning Passing Academy. And he was interviewed by Gordy from Locked On SEC. I told you all about that. Please subscribe to his YouTube page as well. And he talked all about the quarterback competition and the expectations and being thrust into the Sugar Bowl. It's about 3.5, 4 minutes of interview, but it's really good. But we're going to move into that right now.
Catching up with Ole Miss quarterback Luke Altmyer. What was the spring like for you, man? I know you guys were busting it, working your hide off. What was the spring like for you?
It was amazing. My second spring at the college level, so much growth has occurred from a mental, physical, and emotional standpoint. With the quarterback competition and all of that, it's been really healthy and really great. And so much growth and so much competing has really occurred, and I feel really comfortable about where I stand, but I'm always reaching for new heights.
A transition in coaching staff, a lot of new coordinators in there, but are a lot of the wrinkles the same from the offense that Lane's kind of had there?
Yeah, we obviously know Kiffin has his own deal. He's going to run the show. He's going to make sure we're rolling. He's going to put up his numbers and going to produce. So a lot of what we do is his. And Charlie Weiss is obviously very familiar with him, being in FAU with him for a few years. So a lot of things have stayed the same, and we're just steadily rolling.
You never root for injuries, but they happen in the Sugar Bowl. Matt Corral gets hurt. You get in there. How important was that for you to kind of get in there, get some big-time experience, and kind of get that under your belt?
Yeah, I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. Obviously we know the outcome, but seriously, I mean, so much growth, and I've learned so much from that experience, and it's great to have those reps too. I mean, and the adversity that comes with it, and you obviously feel for Matt, his injury and things like that. That sucked for him, but I had to step in, try to do my best, and I learned a lot from it, for sure.
Are you the type of guy that focuses on, when you look back at that film, do you focus on the bad? Do you look at the good? I mean, how do you balance it out when you go back and look at the film?
I think you can take, so much from every single clip, and, even being on the sidelines, you take from that too, probably even more. But as you come with reps and, what you watch, you become more comfortable in what you're doing, and, being around it more, because, throughout the year, you hadn't really played a whole lot of football, with live action going on. So it's good to get in there and kind of, I guess, get your feet wet, but kind of just get back into that groove. So the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. It's only up from there.
What was it like getting to know Jaxson? Obviously, you're competing with him, but what was it like getting to know him and you guys kind of battling it out right now?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. We all know he's a great player and a great competitor. Our relationship's very healthy. He's, like I said, he's a super cool dude, nice guy, very selfless, and he's a great teammate. And but there's obviously that competition and that kind of business mentality that goes with it. But I want nothing but the best for him, and I think he wants that for me as well.
Last thing, how do you build off of last year? I mean, you guys have a fantastic year, double-digit wins, but how do you build off of that?
Yeah, it's not easy, when you go and win the most wins in school history, but I'm very confident in what we got and the talent that we have, and it's about just putting it together. I think we were so good last year because of the bond and the relationships that everybody had with each other. So I think if we can get there, the sky's the limit, seriously.
Luke, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, there it is, the interview of interviews. We've got about 4 minutes with Luke Altmyer. Thank you to Chris Gordy for getting that, and also for getting it to us so we could share it with you guys. But anytime you can hear Luke Altmyer, as stingy as they are with the media at Ole Miss and things like that, it's always good to hear from a player such as that. Basically, in this day and age, it is becoming harder and harder to get. So thank you for Chris Gordy for doing that for us. Anyway, this has been the special interview edition of the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. We'll be doing these and separating the interviews as we go. About 8 minutes is what we're shooting for, 8-minute long videos, so you can check out what's going on with your favorite Ole Miss players. Tune in tomorrow for the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. As usual, 30 minutes, Ole Miss football. Let's go. It is go time. Absolutely go time. But it should be really cool. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.